All right, guys. So this is going to be, I guess I'm going to entitle this one in I Warned Them and Random Topics because I'm going to talk about a few things that's on my mind right now. I like to go black screen like Element used to do because when you go black screen, then y'all know that's kind of letting y'all know that, what I'm talking about is serious. Uh, guys, there were people that I warned not to play any games. Remember, guys, I didn't know what was going on, but to a certain extent, I did. I just didn't know what was going on. I didn't know exactly. It wasn't for me to know exactly what was going on, but I knew people were acting funny, real funny. Okay, and that just goes to show you never undermine your own instinct. If you think somebody's acting weird, most likely they are. You don't even have to know exactly what's going on. You just know to be aware. But I remember telling one individual I went to high school with. We called him Jay. I told this individual through a series of text messages that I was worried about people and the way they were acting, and that I didn't want anybody sabotaging my life. Now, keep in mind, guys, I was texting this individual this uh, before I even knew exactly what was going on. However, this individual did know what was going on, and so therefore, it's like I gave him a chance to come clean about what was going on, even though I didn't know what was going on. You understand what I'm saying, guys? I guys, I have a certain my personality allows me to, like, again, keeping people on ice. And it's not like I told y'all, it's not like I try to do it. It just happens naturally. That's the way I'm made. That I expose people. I can expose people just by being myself. I don't have to be looking for nothing. Okay? But some extra bubble gum to buy. But anyway, I warned this individual. Here's another situation, guys, where I warned my cousin Chanel. I told her that I was very powerful before I actually knew how powerful I was, but I knew I was powerful. Why did I know I was powerful before I actually found out? Well, because there are many things in my life, guys, that have happened that I got out of that was literally like some kind of Houdini. Okay, I knew something was going on. I knew somebody had my back throughout the years, even outside of what's going on right now. So when I told Chanel that I was very powerful, she responded that she wished she had that power. Okay? My half sister admitted to me that she was jealous of me. See, the enemy will tell you right up front, I don't like your ass. And if anybody ever tell you that, stay the hell away from. Don't think they playing. But I told Chanel that I was extremely powerful, and I believe within a week or two or something, she went and had a series of car accidents. I tell you, man, guys, I tell people don't fuck around, but all they do is fuck around and find out. That's what they best at doing. So moving on from that, guys, yeah, it's called, with me, it's like basic instinct, man. Basic instinct, and I'm just really good at keeping people on ice. All right. And I have divine intervention. Okay, because I'm righteous. I don't have any ulterior motives. Okay, and I'm not seeking validation from people. Yada yada yada. But moving on, guys. When I visited Cambodia, I told you guys about how things were different. I noticed how people treated each other. I noticed how families took care of each other. They didn't do the same things that Americans do. They didn't put their parents in old folks' homes and stuff like this. It was family unit was very tight knit. It was very important, and they weren't like religious type people either. Most of them were into Buddhism, but it wasn't like they was religious, if you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? Um, One thing that I really noticed though is that me being a foreigner and walking around with my passport, I had more rights than the actual citizens of that country. Now, exactly what that was, I really can't remember right now, guys. I just remember that when I ran into it when I was over there, I said, "Well, damn!" I said, "This is kind of like just like back home in America." I mean, uh, it's almost like when you're a citizen in your own country, you think that you're supposed to have like rights, but actually you're like the subject. You're damn near a slave. Because when you go to another country, it's almost like you're an ambassador. When you go to another country and you're living under a passport or a visa, That makes you like an ambassador instead of a citizen. If you're a citizen, that's like you're a subjected slave. If you're an ambassador, it's almost like that. Well, they're forced to treat you good because, well, number one, they know if you coming in their country, you're gonna spend some money, right? That's number one. Must be the money. Deion Sanders song. Must be the money. Must be the money. It must be the money. Must be the money. I've been thinking about that song lately. But anyway, I'm gonna put that in the link, man. Y'all who don't know Deion Sanders, man, that dude, boy. Whoo. But anyway, I'm gonna leave that in the link. Yeah, where was I? Yeah, when you're a citizen, man, it's like you're a subjected servant or a slave. When you visit a country and you have a passport, like I have, it's like you're like an ambassador. So they're gonna treat you better than their own citizens. I think for two reasons. Number one, you're there to spend money. You're there to put energy into their system, right? And number two, when you leave outside, when you leave out of the country, they don't want you to go back and tell people that, hey, you had a bad time in Cambodia, especially if you spent money there. For anything, they're hoping that you go back, tell everybody you had a good time so that other people will come spend their money in Cambodia. You see how that works? I heard something last night, guys, really disturbing. I'm going to leave it in the link, too. It was a guy, I think he was a deputy or a sheriff or something. He was talking about how a woman from Mexico crossed the border with no problem. And I think within 24 hours, she was in a hotel, had a place to live and a job and a phone, goddammit. Okay. What about all the Somalians that live in Minnesota? Guys, I'm telling you, need I say more? It's very frustrating. You get treated better as an ambassador visiting a country than in your own home country. That's the truth. If you're in your own home country and you expect to be, if you're going to be treated like an ambassador, then God has to free you from the slave system that you're a part of. That's the only way you can get out of this thing. That's the only way I can get out of what I'm getting out of, is through God. It can't come through man. If it was up to man, I wouldn't be doing jack shit. If it was up to man, I don't care if you're talking about the white man, the black man, whoever. To tell y'all the truth, I've been treated better by white folks than black people, collectively, my whole life. So moving on now from guys, last but not least, let me see. I want to please don't slip my mind. I want to say one more thing. Give me a second, y'all. Oh, I know I was going to say, it always takes me about 10 seconds. Yeah, I mean, guys, I've basically come to the conclusion where I'm at in life right now, that there is nothing you can do to get, if people decide not to like you, they just ain't going to like you, man. They just ain't going to like you. A lot of times it has to do with bigotry. And when we say bigotry, we're not talking about, again, the way white people look at black people or vice versa. I'm talking about when your own people can be looking at you, there's bigotry going on. You could be a shade lighter than your cousin. There's bigotry going on. Most people don't like you on sight. It don't matter what you do for them. It don't matter what, and those people you stay away from, because they're always going to find a reason not to like. It don't matter what you do. You can say, yo, man, when I get this job and when I get my first paycheck, yo, me and you, man, we finna go out and we finna go to this restaurant, man. We finna turn up. Talk to the bitches, you know what I'm saying? If that motherfucker don't like you, he don't give a fuck with how much money. Guys, it's sick. That's why when I told y'all about me only really dealing with a very small, my circle is going to be really small, really small. Really, really small. Because I've seen about enough that I want to see from people. Okay? I've seen enough how people are. It's nothing you can do. When somebody sees you, it's like they don't like you on sight. And most of the time, it's the demon that's in them. It's just the demon that's in them. And what they'll do, they'll gaslight you and make you think that it's something that you're doing. They'll gaslight you and make you think it's something that you're doing to make that's the reason they don't like you. It's your fault. Think about this. It's your fault that I don't like you. Now, how the fuck kind of reasoning is that? You see why I say my circle gonna be real small? Not going to allow a lot of people into my life. I ask God to free me from this shit. I don't want to deal with these folks no more. I've seen enough from people. basically a bunch of grown-up children at large. Okay, that's what I've seen. You got a lot of more. You got animal species out here that are more civilized than a lot of these people out here. Real talk. Okay. And like I told y'all, most of the people that have been friendly with me in my life have come from Eastern cultures, Indian people, people from Kazakhstan, even some of the Eastern European people have treated me a lot better than people in my own home country. Okay, that's the truth about it. A lot of people from the Eastern cultures, they see that I'm a good person and they go off that. Here where I'm at right now, it's like these motherfuckers, they don't give a fuck. You know, they just don't give a fuck, man. You know, and you can't really blame the government for everything, because here in America, it's kind of like they gave you that whole Aleister Crowley thing, do as thy will. That's why a lot of people move here. That's why a lot of women from the Eastern Muslim countries come here. They might not say it, but a Muslim woman from the East, if she comes over here, especially as a young woman, you cannot, I mean, you have to know that in the back of her mind somewhere, she's going to be like, wow, well, if I go to America, I'm going to be able to be more liberal as a Muslim woman than I would be treated back home among my own people, right? We know that's the truth. Okay, so it's like America is a place where people come to rebel. And not to say that rebelling is always a bad thing, but we're just talking about the collective whole. Most people come to America to be rebellious. Okay, so you can imagine what kind of nation that we're actually living up under here. Is Aleister Crowley, is do as thy wilt. Okay, so people are free to, you know, practice whatever they want to practice, whether it's voodoo, hatred, all kinds of stuff. It's, you know, in other countries you'd be beaten up for doing certain things. There are other countries that my family wouldn't have been allowed to get out of control like this. Some people would have, it wouldn't have had to go to no justice system. It would have been handled already, viciously, before it even got to a courts. The fuck, like, who, as grown adults, you gotta have a judicial system hold your fucking hand? How embarrassing is that? And you call yourself a motherfucking adult? Fuck out of here. There are Muslim countries I know in the East, that shit would have been handled. Even in the old mob, the America that was ran by the mob, it would have never gotten to this point. It would have never gotten to this point, guys. Y'all hear what I'm saying? It would have never, under the mob, it wouldn't have gotten this far. That shit would have been handled on the streets. It wouldn't have been no waiting, no delays, no gaslighting. You wouldn't have had time to put together that voodoo doll. You would be dead already by a Tommy gun or some shit. So I didn't say it about enough, y'all. All right, random topics. Check out the link. Must be the money, must be the money. Whatever he's saying.